Lauren's home sits at the edge of a thick stretch of woods where the nearest neighbor is miles away, and nighttime brings complete, unbroken silence. For a while, that felt peaceful. Lately, it started to feel more like being watched. It was an ordinary evening walk with her dog Luna when things shifted. Mid-stride, Luna simply stopped. Ears up, muscles tense, eyes fixed on a specific point in the tree line, staring the way dogs do when they're not guessing, when they know.
Luna. Luna. What? Go home. Luna, go home. No, 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 no. Luna, come on. Stop.
Lauren called her back. Luna didn't move, just kept staring into the dark, growling low in her throat. In the days that followed, Luna's behavior inside the house became harder to dismiss. She'd pace, stop in empty corners, bark at walls, watch.
What is wrong? What? What? Big head, what? What?
Lauren didn't know what to make of it. Luna had never acted this way before, not once. Then, one night, everything seemed to escalate at once. Watch carefully.
Luna, come on.
The doorbell rang, repeatedly, insistently, with no one at the door. Luna completely unraveled. But the moment that cut deepest came from the security footage, a row of books launching off a shelf with no contact, no vibration, no logical trigger. Luna's been sensing something for weeks. Based on everything caught on camera, it's becoming very difficult to argue that she's wrong.
It's to find out my final answer. Whoa, I'm not sorry. But I'm not sorry that I can't find something. 19 minutes, people. Just to be clear, 19 minutes until 6 o'clock.
Strange things had already been happening in this house for weeks. The man had mostly learned to live with it until he started moving items down to the basement. Old things, inherited from his family's business in Mexico, built over 60 years. He'd been packing them away one by one, almost as a precaution, after viewers urged him to isolate them.
Obviously, we've had this ghost for a while. Yeah, we've tried sage. We've tried all that. That's why we kind of made a joke out of it. But based on all of your advice, I have taken a couple of items that I've inherited from my family's 60-year business in Mexico, and I've inherited a lot of stuff. So one by one, I've been sticking a couple of things in this box in the basement. Now, when my wife said that she whistled today, and she heard something in the basement, so... Dude, I'm not really sure if I should... Ooh. We've been stacking up these boxes for the kids to sit and play with. Oh, jeez. No! We'll go down, take a look at what that is tomorrow.
Then, one afternoon, his wife whistled from upstairs, and something in the basement whistled back. Shaken, he grabbed his camera and started walking toward the stairs. He didn't even make it to the bottom. A single cardboard box shifted before he touched anything. Then the entire stack launched across the room, not tipped, not sliding, thrown with force, as if whatever was down there had decided it was done being ignored. The strange part? After that night, the activity stopped. Completely. No more sounds, no more movement, no more responses. Whatever was disturbed by those inherited objects either left or went very, very quiet. The Santa Maria Inn has been standing since 1917, and the stories have been stacking up just as long. Guests talk about footsteps that trail them down empty hallways, doors that drift open without contact, and voices that seem to come from the walls themselves. Martha and her husband weren't looking for anything unusual when they arrived with their border collie, Oreo. They were just staying the night, but as they walked down one of the hotel's quieter corridors, Oreo stopped dead, eyes locked on a bench ahead, body rigid. And then he lurched backward.
He's looking at them. He's looking at them. Look, he's looking at He's looking at the bench. Oreo's freaking out, guys. And there's somebody sitting there. He doesn't want to go by it. That's all right. Come on. Come on. That was crazy.
They coaxed, they called, they tried everything. Oreo wouldn't go near that bench. Later, reviewing the footage at home, Martha caught something she hadn't noticed in the moment. A whisper, faint but clear, coming from somewhere near where Oreo had been staring. 2 words, "Come back." No one else was in that hallway. No staff, no guests, no one within earshot. So who was Oreo reacting to, and who didn't want them to leave? He'd done this patrol hundreds of times. Same route, same rooms, same silence. So when something sounded off that night, his first instinct was practical. Someone had gotten in. He moved through the building systematically, flashlight sweeping every shadow, checking every door. Nothing. No footprints, no voices, no sign of forced entry. And then the silence shifted. It didn't just feel quiet anymore. It felt wrong, like the building was holding its breath. He kept moving, and then the sound came.
Beer cellar. Oh, it stinks in there. What's in there? Oh, it's somewhere else. No. Okay. Jesus Christ. Hey! Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, now. Jesus Christ.
Something heavy hit the floor with enough force to echo through the entire structure. He pressed himself against the wall, barely breathing, mind racing through every logical possibility. He stepped back out, looked around. Still nothing. No person, no animal, no obvious cause. And the look on his face in that moment says more than any caption could. Whatever his training prepared him for, it wasn't this. He never once used the word haunted house, because he didn't think it was the house at all. For months he'd been waking up choking, a crushing pressure on his throat like hands that weren't there. He tried to reason it away. He tried moving rooms. Eventually, he tried leaving the city entirely, checking into a hotel far enough away that surely whatever this was, it couldn't follow. Just to be safe, he set up a camera before he went to sleep. He figured he'd wake up to nothing. He was wrong. Take a look. Play it at normal speed and the curtain twitch looks like nothing, but slow it down and the shape becomes harder to dismiss. Something dark, low, deliberate, moving along the wall like it was aware of the lens pointed at it. That footage changed him. He stopped asking whether certain places were haunted. He started asking whether something had decided to stay with him specifically. Whether that's more terrifying or not, that's for you to decide. By the time William Sloan started filming, he already thought he knew who he was dealing with. Weeks of Ouija board sessions had reportedly given the presence a name, James. And William, rather than pulling back, kept the line of communication open, asking questions, setting up cameras, waiting for responses. One night, he noticed the old chair in his living room moving, barely perceptibly at first, like the kind of movement you convince yourself you imagined. But William was done convincing himself of anything.
Just rock it a little bit. Just a little bit. I know you can do it. Come on.
He spoke directly to it, asked it to do more, half daring whatever was there to prove itself. And according to him, it did, just not always on camera. A month later, the blinds in his living room suddenly came alive. He caught this one on tape.
I was sitting on the couch over there, and I was just watching TV and on Facebook as usual, and I don't know where Baxter is. Right there. Baxter was sitting next to me on the couch, and Hazel, boom, this girl, was way back here in the hall. Okay? And all of a sudden, these vertical blinds just, they rattled by themselves. Like somebody just walked into them. They're shaking a little bit now, but it's because of the heating vent. It's adjacent, and they always sway a little bit. Or Baxter, you know, he hangs out and he moves them. But we're going to try to get it to happen again. James, if you're here, move those blinds again, because that was really good. And I didn't get it on tape when it happened the first time. I don't know. I think that was the vent. It wasn't like what it did before. Holy
What's notable isn't just the movement itself, it's how it moves. Not a gentle sway from a vent, but a sharp, full-body rattle, like something walked directly into them. William tries to reason through it on camera, pointing to the heating vent nearby, but even he doesn't seem fully sold on his own explanation. James, if that's who this was, apparently had a flair for the dramatic. 5:30 in the morning. Cold air, dense trees, a narrow mountain trail in the Philippines. The girls had only stopped for a few minutes to take photos, just long enough for the rest of the group to disappear around a bend ahead. When they realized they'd been left behind, they didn't walk, they ran. One of them kept her phone up, recording the path as they sprinted to catch up. Neither of them saw anything unusual in the moment. It wasn't until later, watching the footage back frame by frame, that the fear really set in.
Naliligaw kami, guys! Naliligaw! Wala ni mga kasama namin! Wala ni mga kasama namin. Kailangan namin silang habulin kasi maliligaw kami. Gagi, malayo na sila. Wala na.
There, in the trees behind them, a shape, dark, upright, keeping pace. And then, in the very next frame, it's simply not there anymore. No rustling, no footsteps, no explanation. The girls are certain no other hiker was on that section of trail. Whatever appeared in that footage moved without sound and vanished without a trace. Deep in that forest, something may have been watching them long before they ever noticed.
Jerry Bruce is the kind of dad whose videos are full of laughter and ordinary family life, which is exactly what makes these two recordings so deeply out of place on his channel. The disturbances had been building for a while, but May 26, 2009 was the night it stopped being ignorable. He and his wife were jolted awake by the sound of a door slamming somewhere in the living room. Jerry grabbed his phone and went to look. What the camera caught, he still hasn't fully explained.
anybody can say this, and I've done it.
The handle on that closet door twists and rattles like someone on the other side is desperate to get out. Jerry checked. No one was in there. Viewers offered up air pressure, settling foundations, a broken latch mechanism. Jerry didn't buy it. And then weeks later, on July 11th, with his young son right there in the room, it happened again. Pay close attention.
Whoa!
The closet door drifts open on its own, and almost immediately a toy across the room flips over as if something brushed past it on its way through. Jerry didn't wait to analyze it. He grabbed his son and got out. 2 incidents, same closet, weeks apart. Coincidence seems like a stretch, but if not that, what exactly was living in there? The night of June 19th, 2022 started like any other for this couple. They climbed into bed, drifted off, and let the house settle around them. Neither of them was fully conscious when the sound came. Neither of them could clearly recall what they heard or what they felt. For days, the memory just sat there, vague, unresolved, easy to brush off. Then they checked the security footage, and brushing it off became impossible. Chubby hesitated before posting the clip. She knew how it would look, but she also knew what she saw, and she believed people needed to see it too.
I was fully asleep at this point, and I was trying to wake up. We were both half asleep at this point, and I don't really remember what happened exactly. I just heard a sound. It wasn't until we watched the video.
The recording shows something crossing the threshold of their room, easing the door shut behind it and interfering with objects, all while they lay completely unaware. Chubby reached out to her audience, hoping someone would hand her a logical explanation.
Explanation like that's scientific to why these things are happening to us, that would actually put us at ease. I have had a few experiences at my house before this one, but nothing to this extent. So I don't know. I think it might be following me.
The comments she got back weren't reassuring. Most people told her the same thing: don't spend another night there. So what do you think? Coincidence or something that made itself at home? 1 month. That's all the time had passed since Rachel's grandfather drew his last breath inside the very walls Chase and Rachel were now trying to sleep in. But what happened next had nothing to do with grief. Deep in the silence of that house, their bedroom door began to move. Slowly at first, the couple watched, paralyzed. They threw their things together and headed for the door, but the house wasn't done with them. Just as Chase reached for the last bag, the door slammed hard. Watch what he does next.
And like, we're literally just...
That wasn't the end of it. Seconds later, the door started thrashing again, more violently than anything before, as if whatever was behind it had grown impatient. Chase has never been able to explain it. No draft, no mechanism, no rational cause. And the detail that unsettles people most isn't the door itself. It's the timing, like something waited until they were almost gone.